I literally just came out of the shower and this was on my mind because I feel like my shower is where I do some of my best thinking. I don't know what it is. Some of my best thinking, some of my best prayers I literally said whilst I'm in the shower. But what I was thinking about is, what do you do in a relationship? Because I feel like this is actually more common than a lot of people make it seem. But what do you do in a relationship or even a friendship where things aren't all bad, but they're not all good at the same time? So essentially, you could have a friend who is so loving, so caring, so supportive. They're there for you. They give you good advice. You feel like they're reliable, but they could let you down in other areas. I wish I had an example of that. And it's a shame. Why is my best examples for relationships? But like, yeah, like what do you do in that scenario? Like, do you cut that person off or do you keep that person? And it's especially tough when it's situations that might have more to do with the person's personality. Essentially, it would require them to change themselves. Like, how is that somebody that you keep in your life? Is that somebody that you let go of? It's probably easier to keep somebody around that might let you down in certain areas but is good in others, because of course, like, different friendships offer different things. Different friends bring out different sides of you, but that doesn't necessarily work when it comes to partners and when it comes to like dating. How, like, you can't have a partner who is good for certain things but then bad for other things. Like, it doesn't, there's always going to be that clash. Like, there's always going to be that clash. So how do you decipher whether or not that is somebody that you want to keep around? I don't know. I think it's so complicated. Like, you could have a partner who is literally all the things I was saying before: supportive, loving, caring. What else? That was not. I was gonna say something inappropriate. But yeah, you can have a partner who is literally like good at so many things, but they fail maybe at communication, they fail at understanding, they fail at listening, they fail at being considerate. But these are things that are so core to you as a person and so core to a relationship. But what if those things are not core to them? These are not things that just come to them naturally. It's like, how do you decide when maybe you might have to, I don't want to say settle, compromise. How do you decide when you compromise on something because of how much you care about someone, and when you have to stick to your boundaries? Like, this is what I want and it just has to be that. If you can't give it to me, the dial is that way. How do you decide that? Like, I feel like it's so hard in this day and age because online, a lot of the conversation and a lot of the discourse surrounding relationships and connections with people, it's always hot or cold. Like, it's always one or the other. It's either the person was amazing and so yes, you're still together, or the person was terrible. But what about that in between space and navigating that? Like, it's so much more complicated than a lot of people feel.
I'm the girl who 2 years ago, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend and I said he was good, great even, but he wasn't my husband. And all the incels, even some women were like, what? You left a good man? You left a good man? See, this is why women are single. This is why you'll never find a husband. Here's the thing. High standards do nothing but good. If your standards do not eliminate most, they aren't high enough. You only marry one person. So yeah, good wasn't good enough. Now I actually have the person that I should be with, right? Lord willing, we'll make it to the altar. We'll pray over everything. But never let nobody tell you that you're doing too much. Especially as a woman when it comes to your life partner, knowing that this man is going to lead you, be the father of your children one day maybe. You're going to have to live with this man, maybe for 50 years.
But I think one of the things I was thinking about in the shower is, but yeah, one of the things I think about in the shower is it's so important to have your boundaries. Like, I say this to my friends all the time. I mean, I have to be better at practicing it. And boundaries isn't even just in regards to relationships. This is just in life. You need to have your boundaries. But as well, it's so important to actually know what you like and to actually know what matters to you, what is core to you, what do you absolutely need. Because I literally said this the other day. Somebody could have so many redeeming qualities, but at the end of the day, if they are failing in a specific department that is important to you, it's going to feel like none of those redeeming qualities exist. Like, the redeeming qualities are not redeeming. Say you're somebody who cares so much about your birthday. Your birthday comes around and your partner does not do anything to make your birthday special. This doesn't take away from the fact that probably every other day they go out of their way and they go above and beyond to make you feel good. They are there for you, they're loving, they're caring, they are everything that you want. But them not being there for you on your birthday, them not being there for you on your birthday, it completely like erases everything else. And it's a shame because it shouldn't, but that's just how it is. And that's what I was saying to my friends about. You need to know what is core to you and you need to know what is important to you so that you can just stamp that and you can set that like standard, shall I say, with the other person so that they know this is what matters to me. And I feel like once the other person knows what matters to you, after that, there's no excuse. What's your excuse now? Because I told you this is what I like. I told you this is what I care about. I told you this is what matters to me. I've told you that if XYZ does not happen, I don't feel appreciated, seen, cared about, loved, valued, etc. What's the excuse after that what do you have to say for yourself? Knowing what matters to you is so important, but not even just in relationships, in everything. You need to know what matters to you. And that comes from just knowing yourself. Not knowing yourself means you find yourself in so many situations that you could have very easily, maybe not even very easily, but you find yourself in situations that you could have avoided if you knew what matters and if you knew what is important. You guys can tell me what you think, because obviously I did say that sometimes redeeming qualities don't matter. Which it actually does sound kind of harsh, but I don't even think it's that harsh. I genuinely do think that. I think two truths can exist at the same time. Somebody can literally feel like they're perfect for you, but at the same time feel like they are not perfect for you. And that's because there's only so many boxes that they tick. But chances are for you to find yourself in that like space where it feels like the person is perfect for you, but they're not. It's the cool things that matter that aren't being ticked. So let's say that's understanding. Somebody truly understanding you and hearing you and respecting what you have to say matters more than whether or not they pay for everything. And I know in today's day and age, a lot of people will be like, no, it's okay. I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce. I hate that saying. It just gives... Like, I just think, is anyone in here, like, the lights are on, but nobody is home. Nobody is home. There's certain things that just matter way more, and we all know, like, you have your ranking. It's the same way people have preferences of their love languages. Like, if you do, I don't know, if we spend quality time, that means more to me than you doing something for me, like doing an act of service. So, I don't know, I think it's just important that people actually try to figure out like what they like so that you just don't waste that much time. But then it's like, what is wasting time? Because everything in life is an experience. But I do genuinely feel like not all experiences you have to go through. That's even another topic, but I'll save that for another video. But yeah, I genuinely feel like you don't need to experience everything. You don't need to put yourself through hell. You don't need to make decisions that you know will not serve you. You don't need to do things that you know don't serve you. You don't need to entertain people that you know don't serve you and don't make sense for the sake of the plot. See the plot?
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Doing things for the plot will never ever land you in the right place. I genuinely feel that. Well, that's just for me. Because I don't know, I like to live my life as such a like 2 + 2 = 4. Everything needs to make sense. I don't want to plot twists. I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out what happens if I do something for the plot. I'd rather do something and it either makes sense or do something thinking it makes sense and then it doesn't. And it's like, okay, I've learned. But at least I know that my mindset going into that was that it was going to make sense. And then it just didn't. Because then I can hold my hands up and be like, okay, at least I can look back and know that I tried it and then it just didn't go to plan. I feel like that is so much better than doing something and then it not working out and then you feeling like, I wish I didn't do it because you knew from the beginning that it never made no sense. I feel like we need to just drop that. Doing things for the plot. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Like, honestly, don't waste your time if you know it's a waste of time, don't do it. That's literally what I can say. I think it's so hard to navigate situations like that where it's just not all good, but it's not all bad. And even in friendships, because obviously, as I said before, certain friends serve a different purpose, but there still needs to be that baseline of what matters to me. What matters to me is having a friend that is... I think as well, so many people get suckered into... Is suckered? Suckered or sucked in? Suckered into... Sucked into... Suck. I'm gonna go sucked into. But too many people get sucked into the whole, like, oh, we've been friends for years. I feel like I had that before. But yeah, too many people get sucked into the whole, oh, we've been friends for years though. Or they get sucked into, we have so much fun. And there's only so far having so much fun and length of time, like, of somebody being in your life. There's only so much that can do for you. Because at the end of the day, yes, we have so much fun when we go out. Yes, we've been friends for years. But you talk about me behind my back. But you make really degrading comments about me. But you disrespect me. So when at that point, when does the fun come into it? Like, at what point does the fun overshadow that? And it's a shame because, like I was saying before, somebody can have so many amazing qualities, but they can have so many bad qualities that just make you want to. I just think there's only so far that redeeming qualities can take someone. That's why you see so many relationships that I think as well, those situations are so hard because you actually do find yourself staying in things longer than you need to because it's not all bad. And that's something that I've had to tell myself before, is it doesn't always have to be the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst for you to... Oh, I'm shaking the camera. But yeah, it doesn't always have to be the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst for you to snap out of it and get your gun and must go and head out. It doesn't actually always have to be that. And sometimes it's easier when it's that. Because leaving a situation, leaving a relationship, leaving a friendship where they have done something just flat out to upset you, disrespect you, piss you off, it's so much easier to leave when that's the scenario than to leave when there is so many amazing things about the person or about the time that you spent with the person or about you and the person's connection. It's so much easier to leave when it's that. But even that, it's so... I don't want to say that word because that might be a trigger warning word. It just reflects negatively on ourselves because you shouldn't always have to wait for like the height of disrespect, or you shouldn't always have to wait for hurt for you to put yourself first. It actually should not always take that, even though it's so much easier. Because even when I look at certain situations, you even get over it. I don't know, but for me, some people might be different, but for me, I get over it so much quicker if you just done something to... If you done something to just, my head is hot, I can just, oh, okay, cool, I'm done. And then I can move on literally like 2 weeks. I don't care. Like, I'll talk about it. Definitely will talk about it for that 2 weeks. But by the end of that 2 weeks, I feel nothing whatsoever. But that's because, I don't know. It actually depends on the person. Because for some people, that hurt is even worse. But for me, I just focus on the fact that you actually did me like this. How can I still How can I still be attached, or how can I still hold on to this friendship? How can I still hold on to this relationship when you did me like this? I just hyper focus on that. Like, I can't get over the fact that you actually said this to me. You actually did this to me. Oh, okay. Like, I'll pay you dust and just completely forget. So that's why for me it's easier. But it's not always about, life is not always about taking the easy way out. And it just even builds into the trauma. Like, you're traumatizing yourself. You shouldn't have to traumatize yourself in order to make the right decision. And oftentimes the right decision is the harder decision. But you just have to trust in the fact that because it's the right decision, it will make sense at some point. It might not make sense in a few weeks. Well, let me go in order. It might not make sense in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, even in a few years. But someday you're going to sit down and look back and be like, okay, like, even for me this year, January, well, now it's oh no, you guys won't know the date, but now we're in February, but already in January, certain things that happened last year with, like, just people, I can already look back at it and be like, okay, I understand it now. Like, I understand why that happened the way it did. And it's okay, because then, like, when you reach that point of understanding, it's so worth it. Like, there's certain, even right now, take your time, someone, take your time. But even right now, the example that I can think of is, I'm not going to say that example, but I can just take an example with someone where I felt like, damn, like, this person really let me down, really disappointed me. This didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. But I just had a random day in January where I was like, but if it had worked out the way I thought it was going to, it really would not have worked out, because so many things would have went wrong. This would have not happened. This would have ended before I even, like, got started. This would have this would have that. This would have hurt me 10 times more. So sometimes it's really about just taking a harder decision and just bow out gracefully. Like, bow out gracefully and trust in the fact that it's going to make sense. Like, I literally saw a TikTok that was so true. So the TikTok said, I love when I think that something didn't work out and God shows me that it actually did. I think it's just so amazing. Like, and something doesn't work out the way you want it to, and then you realize that, no, this actually worked out for the best. I truly feel like that was what 2025 was for me. Well, 2025, and then I'm still I'm still unpacking certain things and still learning certain things, as you should be. But I genuinely feel like that's what 2025 was about. With certain things happening in a certain way, and me thinking, what? Like, why does it feel like things just keep going wrong? But then at some point, you just reach that moment of, like, eureka! And you're like, oh my gosh, this actually did work out for the best. And if it had worked out, and this, I literally love when they say that. Sometimes God's plan is way bigger than our plans. Like, I don't know if anyone has seen those pictures where it could be like a girl or a child and they're holding like a flower, but the flower looks like it's been trampled on and the stem is just all like twisted and bent and whatever. And the flower's just destroyed. And she's so upset because she's looking at what was once a really beautiful thing and is now been ruined. And then Jesus is speaking to her in the picture and he has like an entire bouquet of flowers. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but I really love that picture because I feel like it's just so true. Like, it's so true when it comes to just God, but obviously not everybody is religious. But even outside of God, I feel like it's just so true when it comes to life in general. You hyper focus on something going a certain way, and you hyper focus on something happening the way you wanted it to happen, and then one day you realize, oh my God, I'm so glad that actually didn't happen the way I wanted it to. I'm such a tangent person because now I'm preaching and we were talking about relationships. But back to that, I truly feel like in those situations where there's a lot good, but there's a lot bad. Like I said earlier, you need to establish, okay, these things are good. Are any of them core things that matter to me? And I feel like chances are, if you are feeling like there's so much good, but there's so much bad, potentially that might be a sign that the things that are actually important and core to you are not there. And in that case, you gotta sayonara. But of course, that doesn't go without a conversation. Like, there of course has to be a conversation. Put it on the floor, lay it out straight, say how you feel, say what your issue is. Of course, communication. Communication is key. Communication is key. You don't exit without communication. That makes no sense. You talk about what it is that you feel like is missing for you. And of course, depending on how receptive that person is, that is when you either leave or you stay. Have that conversation, depending on whether or not the person is... How do I put this? Like, I feel like certain things come naturally to certain people. And I truly believe that you should always encourage somebody to grow, somebody in your life, whether that's a friend, a sibling, your partner, even your parents. You can encourage your parents to grow. Don't let that. You can definitely encourage your parents to grow. But I don't think that you should... No. I don't think that you should change someone. Like, I personally don't. I don't want to be responsible for somebody changing themselves. And when I say change someone, you can change them as in, like, make them a better person. But if somebody is just who they are, I don't feel like you should change them. I feel like there is somebody for everyone. There's a friend for everyone. There is a partner for everyone. You have friends that feel like siblings. There's somebody there. There's somebody for everyone. So I genuinely don't believe in making somebody just change who they are entirely so that they fit what I want as a friend or as a partner. So I think that is also very key. If you feel like the things that are bad, in order for me to feel content and for me to feel happy, this person would have to literally revamp their entire life and rebrand and change themselves fully. I feel like that's a sign that you might need to hit the road. I feel like that's a sign, because it's the same way that there will be somebody out there for you who will make you feel what you think is missing as a friend or as a partner. Is the same way that there will be somebody out there who will be content with how that other person is as a boyfriend or girlfriend or as a friend. So it's a really challenging one. Did I even answer my question? Did I even ask a question? I don't know. That was actually my shower thought. Like, I have so many thoughts. I think I'm like the original thought daughter. Like, I am always thinking about something. See, I'm literally going to be coming on here, sharing my thoughts, sharing things that I've seen. Because sometimes on, like, my usual scheduled program, it feels like I just need more time to talk about something because I just have so much to say. I feel like I always have so much to say. I always have an abundance of things. Like, my voice notes are never... I don't know how people send voice notes that are under 1 minute long and you get your point across. Like, how do you do that? When I send my voice notes, you need to know every inch of what I'm thinking. You need to know how I feel. And then, of course, it needs to call for, like, the extra background noise, which is, like... You know what I mean? I just don't know how people do that in under a minute. So this is literally, like, these type of videos are literally extended voice notes. Like, if I was on the phone to one of my friends, or if I sent in a voice note, I would be saying all of this right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this style of video. Tell me if you want me to continue. Keep it up. But yeah, bye guys, and I will see you again next week. I'll see you again next week. Sunday.